So I'm making a recording. I've decided that whenever I'm feeling a certain type of way, like I have negative thoughts or negative feelings, that I'm going to stop and just talk about it, because a lot of times people want to tell you about being negative and putting things out into the universe. But sometimes when negative shit happens to you, a lot of times, it's hard to feel positive. But I feel like instead of having those thoughts just swirling, to vocalize them, although people say when you say things, you put it out there. Well, it's already out there because it's in my damn mind. So I'm thinking that if I vocalize them, then maybe I can come back and rationalize through some of it, to get it out of my system and come back, maybe listen to it and pick out, or I'm going to say, like, it's like a lot of things you can't discuss with other people, because first of all, rarely do other people want to hear your shit. They'll be kind to your friend, your family, or whatever. They'll listen and offer encouragement, but really everybody is, trying to do their own thing and get this shit for themselves. And nobody is going to spend a whole lot of time on you and your shit like you will, So I'm trying this self-help deal. And so the first thing that I'm going to do is just talk about what's on my mind, let it go, use that as my outlet, and then come back and try if I need to fix anything or, whatever. So, it's so much going on right now. It's so much. I don't know where to begin. And that's kind of where it's hard. It's like I know I'm being attacked. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like every corner of my life, I have some shit in. And that might be for other people too. But I think that when you're dealing with issues of finance, it just compounds everything. It makes everything so much worse. People say, well, everybody have problems. Yes, but this is kind of tough, and I tend to downplay what I'm going through, especially in the eyes of other people. I have this no sweat attitude because really, when shit happens, there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, you could feel bad about it. You can get mad. You can cry. You can shout. You can blame. You could regret all those things, but it really is not going to stop, the inevitable. Once that rock is rolling down the hill, it's going to go to the bottom, It is going to fall. So it's inevitable. It's nothing that we can do really to stop things once they've been set in motion. And it's just about how we deal with them. So now I'm going through another stress move. I noticed that it seems like whenever I move, it's always a stress move. I am feeling overwhelmed because I was supposed to been gone Monday in my mind. I had procrastinated, just in a state of shock, disbelief, because I did not plan on, moving so soon and suddenly, especially not having a place set up for me to move to. So, but I do know that I must go. It's time to move on. At first, like I said, I was overwhelmed, devastated. This is, it's been a couple of weeks now. And of course, it's sinking in. It's sunk in. It's already sunk in. But now I'm just like in a state of acceptance. First it was, I ain't going to say denial because I knew that shit wasn't going to work. But now I'm in a state of accepting, what this is. And I'm still feeling overwhelmed with the task itself. The task is daunting. When you've been living in a place for almost 10 years, you tend to accumulate a lot of shit. And, I don't know. And then my finances are so messed up right now. I don't even have the monies to be able to move in a non-stressful way, like with boxes. And I have a handful of boxes. But this is not going to be one of them type of smooth transitions. I have a lot of things that I'm needing to let go of. And I think that's significant because I do hoard. I do keep things. I am a sentimental hoarder. I do keep all my children's, school things and even their, some I love books. I have an extensive library, very diverse collection of books. And I'm going to say I read all of them, almost all of them. It's a few that I haven't read. And when I say read all of them, I mean more than one time, maybe twice. So I'm like, okay, I used most of the boxes for books. But I was thinking, I was like, okay, I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what kind of space I'm going to have. I have bookshelves here that are built in on the side of my fireplace. And I have a freestanding bookshelf. But I don't know what kind of space I'm going to encounter. So I'm laying there, I'm thinking, okay, I need to, start to really reevaluate what's going to come with me and what's going to be donated and what's going to be trashed. And it's overwhelming. I think I have, I think I have ADD or some shit, because I'll start and then, something will take me out of the room, and then I'm over here and then I'm over here. It's like it's too much. It's like, I don't know. So what I'm going to attempt to do today, I'm going to attempt to do those three things. Decide what is got to come, what has got to go, and what can be donated. So I have one area that's going to be trash, one area that's going to be donation, one area that's going to be packed. Because I do think that these things are very sentimental to me. I feel like, okay, well, even if I don't have the space for it, somebody could use it. Someone somewhere, this is gonna be good. But then too, what they say about hoarders, it's only valuable to your ass. So clothing, I love shopping. I think that shopping is the #1 stress relief for me. Some people say sex, whatever. That's fine. That's not always readily available, but shopping, honey, even I'm gonna tell you how calming it is for me. Shopping is my antidepressant, my anti-anxiety, my anti-stress, my stress relief. Shopping, even if I have not a dime, I love to go to the store and just look around. And I know this is gonna sound crazy, but I'll even go so far as to put shit in a basket, go try on clothes. I'll go to different departments, even at the thrift store. It don't have to be clothing. I like to just go to the store, and sometimes I be hours in that bitch, and they be like, damn, you still here? But I'll go through and I want to look at everything that they have. And it's just a calming, that's, it might sound weird, but that's something that I do that calms me. Now, if I have some money, I'm likely going to come out of there in trouble, because I find it hard to pass up a good deal. But I don't stockpile on I don't go to the store like I'm, that probably is a positive hoarding, is, stockpiling on shit you're gonna need, sanitary napkins, paper towels, all that kind of stuff. I really haven't gotten into, excuse me, that on that extent, the coupons or whatever the case may be, but shopping is definitely a de-stressor. So I'm trying this out because I don't have a car right now, so I can't even go fucking shop. So I'm here, and I'm sitting here, and I'm going to get something off my chest. So in the background, I have, this moving situation. I don't have a vehicle. I have a very low wage paying job, but I do like the job. It's not stressful. I like the fact that I work alone. There are things that I like about it. There are things that the money is horrible. It's not even a livable wage, to be honest with you. And I am going to have to find something else. I took the job because I was not able to find anything else for some reason. I applied everywhere. I'm just giving you a little backdrop of some of the things that I've been dealing with. But the bigger issue, or not the bigger issue, but the issue that I wanted to discuss or talk about outside of that, because before I even get into that, all the things that I've just said, somebody could sit here, and if I was talking to someone, they would be like, oh, it's so negative, everything that you're saying, all the stuff that you're going through. But sometimes when you're dealing with, dare I say, facing homelessness, facing possible eviction, not having a vehicle in a place where you really need to have a vehicle for all the things that you need to do. I can't even make money. I do Amazon delivery. I can't even go make money because I don't have a car. I need the money. I don't have a vehicle. And my daughter's been helping me using her car. God has blessed her and my other daughter to have a car. But they have their things. I don't want to ever dominate anybody's stuff. But it's like when you talk to people, they're like, oh, well, think positive. Okay, well, I have to get back to that. I'm I guess the positive thing I'm hoping for is that when I do finally get a place, that it'll be better, a better situation, a better environment, perhaps. When I look at the pot, when I try to spin it and think of some positive things, maybe this is going to help me to get organized, declutter. Sometimes, when you have so many things, it's hard to think. That's how I am. I come into a house and my shit's fucked. I don't want to walk right back out. It's not just the things. Like if I'm not getting along with, when I was married and having problems, I couldn't be there. I could not. It's like I would get physically ill. I get overwhelmed. I get stressed. It's like it's too much for me. I want to get away from it. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just, I'd rather throw all of this shit away and start over, just real shit. And the only reason I'm not going that hard is because I don't have the money to replace it. But on the other hand, if it really, what I really want to do, to be honest with you, I want to take my artwork, my handmade mirrors. I do want my handmade furniture. And I'll take maybe a couple of, suitcases worth of clothes, just get them out. But I'm really like, man, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Fuck this shit. Like, you donate all of this shit. Let me just start over and fresh and just, I love the idea of buying all new shit if I had the money. But I know I don't have the money, and I have a family. If it was just me, it'd be different. But I do have a family. But I often think about, people who come to this country from other countries and other places, and they don't have shit. You know what I'm saying? They don't have nothing. They come just with the clothes on their back and suitcase or whatever, and they leave everything behind to go to something new. So if I had to say something positive, I would say that's what I need to embrace about this experience is I'm going forth into something new, unknown, and different. Yes, my choices and the decisions that I made have led me to the path where I am. Yes, many of them, many of the choices that we make when we find ourselves in certain positions, even though, yes, other people do be involved, this other stuff, but when I just sit down and I think about it, I say, a lot of this is a lesson for me on so many levels, One thing that I hate about being in a situation like this, I hate being needy, like needing other people to help me. And it's not about, oh, you need to humble yourself. It's that people don't really treat you, whenever you ask for help, it's like, you kind of get brushed aside or people act like, oh, you always, it's like, I really want to, if I can think of anything positive, I would say, Lord, I just want to rise out from a poverty situation. Like, I don't want to spend them. I mean, it's like, it's a very depressing thought to think that I'm going to spend my life in poverty. I'm approaching middle age, and that's all I've really known, save a few years here and there. But like my adult life has been steeped in poverty, and I'm just tired of that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you don't know how to get out of it. You don't know what steps to take. If someone would come and give me a manual and say, first, you do this. Second, you need to do this. Third. And I've looked for men to do that, to be honest with you. Because, they the head. They the leaders. They the alpha. They ain't let me nowhere but down a sunken place. Shit. But anyway. Yeah, I'm afraid to make choices now. I'm afraid to make decisions because my choice and my decision makings have been so bad. I am literally afraid to make a choice. Okay, I'm going to give you an example. This morning, I was I was going to take my daughter to work so I could use a car. And I was going to go and look for places. And I was also going to work. I was going to do my deliveries. And so I told her to drive so I can try to, get the delivery app going. And so I was trying, and nothing, since yesterday, nothing. I was like, damn, I done took off my other job so I can make more money doing this, and now it ain't coming through. It seemed like every time I can't do it, that's when the damn be sending me stuff. And this is what I'm saying out loud while I'm sitting up here doing the app. So she was like, well, do you think, because I wanted to take my car and get it serviced. And I said, well, listen, go ahead and do that, and because she wanted me to come pick her up for lunch and we can go look at some places and then come back to get her. I was like, well, that means I have to come out there 3 times. I have to take you, come back, go out there for lunch, come back, go get you, come back. So I said, it's too much. I just put some gas in the car, money I don't have. And I just said, go ahead and go. You said you had to do something around noon anyway, and you also wanted to get the car service. I said, go. I don't want to, see, my thing is, when somebody's helping me, I don't want to create a burden for them, That's the last thing I want to do. I don't want them to be bending over backwards to do something to help me that's going to cause a strain on them. So I was like, you know what, I can't even get I'm steady pressing the button, I have to constantly refresh the screen, constantly refresh the screen, and nothing. So I was like, well, you know what, go on and take me home, because we weren't even past downtown. We were maybe 8 minutes from the house. So turn around and take me home. Not even 30 minutes later, I just happened to hit the refresh button. All the work in the world. I said, ain't this a bitch? Now, is that negative? Did I bring that on myself? Maybe I should have said, even though yesterday was doing the same thing, maybe I should have said, I'm going to do the work. See, I need help with this positivity thing. Because again, when negative things happen, when the chips are down, it's very hard for me to have a positive outlook. It's easy for someone. See, most of the time, people who tell you to think positive, they're not going through a thing. You know what I'm saying? Or they done came out of their shit. It's just like when things on an upswing, you have a hard time relating to somebody on a downswing. I know it's weird and fucked up, but it's just true. So, maybe I did. Maybe I brought that on myself. I ended up accepting a block. I said, well, you know what? That's okay. That's cool. I got out of work. I said, I can't work during the day. She said that she was going to get off in time to pick my other daughter up at 5:30. So I got a block for 5:30 to 8 something or whatever. Make a little money. But then I'm not going to have enough time to do it, because she said, well, I guess she's trying to stay out there as long as she can. She said, well, she'll be back by 5:30. At the time that I took the block, I was thinking that she can come home a little earlier. But you know what? I declined it. I declined the block because I said, well, God works in mysterious ways. Maybe it's just meant for me to stay home and tackle this. I'm missing money that I've been spending that I need to replace. I borrowed from 2 people. And I have not a clue how I'm going to get that money back. But in order to make my deliveries, I do need a vehicle. It's just, I don't know, I'm going in circles. But anyway, I don't know. It's just got me feeling like overwhelmed, all this stuff. I don't know how to handle it. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to start, where I'm going to end. So I guess with the packing thing, another thing, I said, I'm not going to worry about anything that I can't, like, oh, well, we need to be looking for a place. Well, look, I don't have a dime. Even I feel like if I found a place, what I'm going to do? I don't have no deposit money. I don't have no application. I don't have nothing. So I just need to wait. Well, where are you going to go? I'm going to put this stuff in storage. And I have to worry about where we're going to go when I get there. I don't know. I can't think about. It's just too much. You know what I'm saying? It's too much. It's too much. And I know, planning. It's like I'm not good at that. I'm not good at organizing, I guess. My own thing. It's too much to think about not having a place to go with your family. It's a chilling thought for a mother, My daughter is about to give birth, and I'm just praying to God, Lord, I know you giving me these trials to deal with. I don't know how I'm still here, but I just pray that she doesn't go into labor until we have something or somewhere for her to go. My mother's out of the country, making Hajj. That's a blessing. I pray that her Hajj is accepted, and she had a very cleansing, renewing of spirit, a wonderment of the soul. All of that, I pray that she has gotten. She You know, I prayed for a long time that she was able to make that journey. And I'm very grateful that she has been able to make that journey. She's supposed to be returning at the month's end. I just pray that this baby can wait. At least she would be able to go to my mother's house after, because I'm gonna have to leave from here. But and then there's the issue of, you know, the first thing when a woman is in distress and she's looking around for help, people want to say, well, where your man at? You know, they have the tendency to, oh, you need a man. What you doing? You know, especially other men. You know, you ask a man, hey, I need help doing this. Or, hey, I need to, well, damn, you know. And it's like, that's chapter 2. I don't even want to get into that. I'm 20 minutes in. I ain't finna do it because I'll be up here all day. That'll be part 2. Because I do have some things to say about that situation that are, I don't even know, just crazy. It's like sometimes I get in this space, and it's been a long time. I cannot get out of it. Maybe instead of negativity, I don't know if it's depression or what the fuck. But it's like I get into this space, and my mind, my attitude is just like, no. It's like I'm even shaking my head from side to side, no. And so that is a negative place. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how somebody piss you off, and then they come back and try to be nice or whatever, and you just like, I ain't, And so that's what I'm saying. It's like it's hard for me to shake that fuck you off. Fuck you, you know. Because I'll give it to you in a minute. Fuck you. And I'll hold on to that for quite some time. So I just need help to stop that. It's just been such a part of me. But I'm feeling like maybe if I can get that off of me, maybe things will start to clear up. Maybe the clouds will start to move. I just have a hard time understanding that I'm bringing bad shit in my life. When I always try to do the best good that I can with other people, it's just like when you trying your best with your best intentions to help someone. And I have, even when I've not had a lot, I've tried to help other people. I'm coming from a genuine place. It's so hurtful. It's so hurtful to me. I mean, it's so hurtful when those same people act like they don't give a fuck about you. You know, when you really find out that when it comes down to it. But at the same time, what I'm realizing, it's not about them. It's no different than me giving $1 to a homeless man or somebody, you know. It is about them, but it's not about them. It's at the end of the day, you did a kindness that was for them, but really was for your Creator, your Lord, because your Lord says to do that. And I don't know if this was a situation even to take me. And don't get me wrong. I've been all the way down. I'm just now. I was like, I can't get off the ground. You understand what I'm saying? I can't get out the dirt, and it's just, I've been here too long. It's like affecting me. But anyway, maybe this experience, you know, maybe God's showing me, hey, you know, it's other people out here that's got it worse than you. Even when you down in the dirt, somebody is further down in that motherfucker. Somebody's in the ground, you know. So at least you were on the ground. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to think of something positive. But, oh, Lord, help. I'm going to go ahead and get into it, though. I'm going to go on and do it. And the reason why is because I wanted to give a background, but the background takes so long. I really got on here to talk about this nigga, you know. But the background information was so long, I was like, no, maybe I should just leave it like that. But I'm going to go forward because it's got me questioning myself now, this relationship thing. And I'm starting to wonder if it's an equal partnership. You know, I have my set of expectations. I'm sure men have their set of expectations. All I could think about are my expectations of fulfilling my obligations. Well, what is the obligation for a woman to her man? What are the obligations to a man, from a man to his woman? In my mind, I don't feel like I'm asking for a lot. But maybe I am, because again, my expectations are just that. It doesn't mean that they're not, that they're reasonable. It's just my perception. It's just how I feel, what I expect. All my life, I've been told about the man, the man, the man. He's a protector, provider, maintainer. He's the one that leads. He's the one you follow. He's the head of the household. Everybody comes up under him and and respects him as the authority and the leader and the mirror of the household. That's what I thought. What's the woman? She has a supporting role. She's an equal partner in a relationship. She's going to, he's going to rule with mutual consultation, but she is going to give her voice and her opinion. Does he have to do it? No, he doesn't. And I think in marriage, when I was married, that was one of the hardest things for me. Being single and for a long time and raising your home, your kids and taking care of your shit, however raggedy, however it went, you were still the end of the fucking line. You know what I'm saying? Everybody looked to you, all the decisions you made. And it was very hard to come to a place. And people say, well, no, it wasn't hard to come up under. It was very hard to realize that my opinion didn't matter. Now, should it have been that way? No. But it was in a lot of instances. Some of the things that happened, I did not agree with. I wouldn't do that shit for nothing in the motherfucking world, knowing what I know. But when you're married and he's the head, and so that was the issue that I had, because I'm going to get behind somebody. I don't even agree with the decisions they're making. I don't agree with where this is taking me. I don't like where you leading me. I don't like that. I think that we should do this. So that was an issue. And then I think it has a lot to do with how you respect that man. When a man is standing up in his shit and doing what he's supposed to do. I'm going to give a tip of advice, though. One mistake that women make is they reveal too much of themselves. And I'm not even going to say too soon, because I don't think it should be ever. If you've had past struggles, past relationships, even things that had nothing to do with other men, just your past is just that. It's in the past. Don't bring that shit up to no man. Don't even talk about it. Don't even talk about it, because it has nothing to do with anything. You starting new, you start fresh, because it will be used in the motherfucking court against you. And I'm just telling you my experience. A nigga will bring it up. But you said you used to, and he used to, and then you, And I realized that was a mistake that I made, because, in a situation where we were in, first of all, we got married very quickly because we were trying to be virtuous. We were trying not to have premarital sex. We both had been in previous situation. He married, I was, and we wanted to show our kids a better example. And so we didn't want to come in like boyfriend, girlfriend, dating forever, fucking forever. And then, so we wanted to show them that, hey, we're coming into this positive. We're going to have a good example. We're going to do well. And we're going to show you that it can be done. Is what happened. But anyway, the intentions were good. And I really liked him. I felt like, he told me, like I said, we had known each other that long. So I'm a type of person, I believe everything come out your mouth unless you get caught in a lie. Once I catch you or you've been discredited, that's when I start giving you the side eye. Other than that, hey, if whatever you tell me, that's the truth. I have no reason not to trust you. You've done nothing to cause me to mistrust you. Don't matter how many lies I've been told. I don't know that you've ever told me one. I believe you. So when he said, hey, I'm always in a good mood. I'm a very positive person. I'm very organized. I believe on getting places on time. I believe in, being affectionate. I believe in being a good father. I'm great with kids, blah, blah, blah. These are the things that sold me, because all the things he was saying were things that I needed help with. Like, I'm not an on-time person. I'm not an organized person. I'm not always in a good mood. And so I felt like, boy, this is like the yin to my yang. I mean, he's going to help balance me. You know, if how can I be in a bad mood when he's always in a good mood? You know, how he's going to help me to better manage my time and to become better organized. This is great. I finally have someone on the level. You know that we were opposite in a lot of areas that he described, but I was excited about that because I felt like, hey, you know, this will be great for me. This will be great for me. Oh, I pay my bills on time. I don't believe in all of that. I'm trying to get my credit straight. But when we were together, you paid all my bills late. I mean, you ain't pay all of them, but I'm just saying, like the one you did pay. I didn't even know the rent was being paid late until he moved out. And the woman sent me a fucking statement, $1,300. I got the proof. It's like, how? What? Anyway. But I told him, you know, going in, hey, you know, I paid shit late because I sometimes have to. I have to wait for 2 checks to be able to, you know, to pay this right here. Or I owe this, so I'm going to have to skip this to pay this. Like I said, I have lived in poverty for some time, and I just do the best I fucking can. You know, I do the best I can. Sometimes I don't have it on the first, or the fucking second, or the third, or the fourth. And you say, well, why don't you just pay when you get it? Like I said, you know, it's about managing your money. I understand I'm not very good at organizing or thing like that. I need to be, because I realize I'm walking along. I have to. I don't have nobody to help me, you know. I got to help myself. So, but by telling them that, they felt like, well, shit, your shit's already fucked up, but you don't give it now, or you pay it like that, so I'm going to pay it like that. And that was hurtful, too, because I'm like, well, I thought that I would be getting a benefit, you know, of the doubt by being with someone who had all these characteristics that I admired and wanted for myself. And I felt like maybe there were things that I could have contributed to the relationship in the same manner, vice versa, you know. Flag 1 to me was reneging on our arrangement. You know, in Islam, when you are courting and and someone proposes to you marriage, then they ask you what's your dowry, or what kind of, you know, gift that you want from them. It doesn't have to be money, you know, and in this case it wasn't money. We have both talked about wanting to have more kids. My tubes are tied. I won't get into that, but they are. And so I told them, I said, well, you know, everything works, but they just tied up. So I said that we can get them untied, or we can do in vitro, or whatever the case may be. I said, but since I did that before, knowing you, it's not your, I'm not going to say we'll get this done, because, you know, I could have asked for that, but I didn't. I said, well, I'll go half, you know, we can split that cost, because since it's both of us, and this is partly it was my doing. And so that's what I wanted. I wanted to, you know, let's start a family. Let's go in half and start a family. He agreed. That was my dowry. That's what I wanted him. I said I wanted to start to do that immediately. So I was planning on my income tax. That was my portion. And, you know, he knew of his. That was we were engaged in November. So I felt like that was enough time. Income tax season was right around the corner. I felt like, okay, cool. You know, this is great. I was happy about that. No problem. We actually got married in December because it was some issues at his job with him getting insurance. He needs to get insurance before, you know, that Obamacare bullshit. You get penalized and all that. He said if he didn't get insurance, then they would take so much money out of his account for 401k that he could not access or whatever. So I was like, okay, cool. I said, let's go ahead and do it. We got married December 27th, I believe. And that was because, so we could beat the new year. You know what I'm saying? So we did it. Now, at the particular wedding, you know, because I was going to put him on my insurance. All right. And at the wedding, when the contract was supposed to be signed, he when we come over to the dowry portion, which we already discussed, agreed to, that's what the agreed upon terms were. He backed up and he would not sign. He would not agree to it. He was hemming and hawing and acting like he didn't know. And it was so hurtful and humiliating. I wanted to run out of there. Because in my mind, what I was thinking was, you didn't want to have kids with me? Why did you say that? Why would you wait until the day of when we made this, we talked about this, prior to, you never voiced any concerns, you never backed out, you never did any of that. And then he was like, well, I don't want to put that on the contract. What? And so that was red flag number one. I should have just left. I didn't tell the imam. I was trying to save face. I didn't want to tell anybody what we were talking about. My uncle and the other witness were standing there, and I excused them from the table for a moment because we had come over to the table to make the sign. And I was just like, I couldn't believe it that he would do that. And I just came up with something on the spot to say, because he was like, well, I don't want to put that there. I said, well, just put the amount. We'll just put an amount on it. Well, he didn't want to. He wasn't doing it. So I was just like, I just said something random, just to put something down for the dowry. I said, well, Hajj, you just take me to Hajj within 2 years. And he was like, okay, which is, anyway, it's just as expensive. Actually, it's more because both of us would be going. So that's really like, what, almost $20,000. You get it? Just to go is about $7,000 each. That's not money, while you're there or nothing. It's just to go, the package. So that's right there. To me, it was the same price. Why would you? I should have known that was some bullshit too. That he wasn't gonna do it. He never did make good on it. Not even. He didn't put a dime toward it. And it was just like things like that. And yes, every time I bring up certain things, we say, well, that was a long time ago. I'm just giving you the history. So that was red flag number one. Red flag number two, like I said, that was the bills being paid fucked up or not at all. The next major thing was the issue regarding our sexual life. No, I won't get into that right now. But anyway, it just made me not want to be intimate with him. He made comments. He would shame me physically. He would compare me. It was just, it was a shock to me because when I just did not imagine that would be my life with no damn man. I ain't never had nobody complain about things like that or whatever. And it just made me just say, I don't want to fuck with you. But then you come back to my, oh, it's the best. And I felt like, was you lying then? Is you lying now? And I just like, now, oh, yeah, I'm in sex is marriage. My hand. He told me his hand. He preferred his hand. That's what he said. So I'm like, well, fuck, use your hand. That's how I felt, It was hurtful. It was very hurtful. He is younger than me by 4 years, and he would constantly make sly remarks about age differences or how, if we were out somebody, he would, be like, oh, they thought I was your son. It was like he was trying to break me down or something. But what I realized is when I saw the dynamic of his parent situation, I saw it clearly. And I'm very careful to mention that to him because I don't want, him to feel like, well, I'm throwing something that he told me. But really, I saw it even if he hadn't told me, I'd have sat up there and I saw it just with my own 2 eyes witnessing it. But his parents have an extremely dysfunctional relationship. And when I say extreme, I'm talking about the cursing, the fussing, the fighting, the father not doing shit for the mama, really, And the mama having to walk to the fucking bus stop. Her man won't even take her to work. And he don't work nowhere. I said he won't take his woman to work. He won't take her to the fucking train station down the street from their house at 4 o'clock in the morning. I could even see if he said, well, damn, I don't like driving at night. And she get off at 3:45 in the afternoon. He won't go get her. sometime, maybe. I mean, you should just ride the train. I mean, so when I saw things like that, it let me know what I was dealing with too, you know. Um, and it's scary for me to have been with a person that just feels like, well, marriage is something that you just commit to and you're supposed to do it regardless. I understand the whole for better or for worse, but my shit is fix it. If it's on the worst side, make it better. Don't just say, well, we married now, shit, fuck it, you know. I had a problem with that, you know. The way he talked to me was totally fucked up. He would curse. Like, I didn't even hear him curse until afterward. Every word. I ain't never heard somebody use a sentence with full of curse words and make sense with it. That's how he talked, though, to me. He have cursed me in front of his children. He have talked to me